So I'm sitting here at my computer, getting a start on this day, and I'm going over messages and replying to people that have written me. And there's a woman, a really nice woman that I connected to through these videos. And we connected on Facebook, and we've been writing back and forth a little bit. She's also on the twin flame journey, I guess, for years. She told me a little bit about her story. And so I just got a message from her, and it kind of gave me, I kind of feel like I want to talk a little bit about it, because she wrote here. I'll read it. Thank you for your message. Yes, I feel so good to know that we are not alone. I was alone on this journey for many years, and for years I would even try to convince myself that twin flames weren't real and that I was just being delusional. I have no doubt anymore. I'm 100% sure that he is my twin flame, the other half of my soul. I feel so much relief, joy, and gratitude to have the support of you and others on this twin flame in the twin flame community. Thank you so much for your courage and vulnerability to share your process on the twin flame journey with us all. So, first of all, it's like it moves me. And really, what I answered is that I also, in the beginning, when you don't understand what's going on and nobody around you gets it, because you go in the beginning when it starts hitting you, it's big. And you go to the people that you've always trusted and that have always been there for you and you've always been able to talk to and that give you good advice. And you try to explain to them this twin flame journey, and they don't get it. They don't get it. They talk to you as if, oh, just let it go. But you can't just let it go. Even, I've tried. And it's different than that. Even when I say I'm trying, inside, I'm connected. I can feel the connection. It's like I can say it in my brain. I can say, okay, I'm disconnecting, but I can't feel it because the feeling is of connectiveness. I feel we are connected. I can feel his emotions. I know what he's going through. Like I can feel him. And I also tried, and there's pain in that, thinking that you're delusional because it's something completely new. It's something that you've never experienced. It's something that in this world, it's like we were taught out of our spirit. And it seems so surreal that your mind starts playing tricks on you. I guess your ego, who thinks that you are the ego, starts playing tricks on you and making you feel like you are going crazy or like you're delusional or nobody else gets it. And you can also, because you've come from a past perspective of this not being something that's real, and you're speaking like I'll share with my experience. I've this past week, I have almost completely given up on trying to talk about the twin flame journey with my family. I have almost completely given up on it. They don't get it. Even if I explain it to them and they understand the words that I'm saying, in the way that they respond to me, in the way that they don't get it. They understand the words I'm saying. They understand what I'm getting at pinpointed in the very second that I'm saying it. But then they just don't get it to the extent of what it is. And the more I try to explain it, the further away they get from me. Because the deeper I go into detail of it and try to explain the little nuances, the more off the wall and odd it sounds to them. So they think that they're losing me. And they think that I'm being weakened because they see me crying and they see me, going back and forth and back and forth. The pull, the push, the pull, the push, the pull, the push. And when you get on this twin flame journey in the beginning, you lose all of your concentration goes to it. It like takes all of your whole mind is like, oh, what is this thing? And you can't concentrate on anything. And the people around you see it as detrimental. That's what my mother was using, the word she was using. This is detrimental to you. This is detrimental to you. You have to get over him. You have to get over this twin flame thing that you're thinking about. Just quit thinking about it. You have to get over it and realize it's not real. She told me it's not real. See, when you're on this journey, and when you get past the part, like my newfound a friend that's also on the journey who said that she thought she was delusional, and that's how I felt. I went through it really fast. I'm also have had, I don't want to call it luck because I know it's not luck, but it's to my benefit that my twin is so far awakened. I feel like he's waking me up. Like I feel like he's reaching down with a hand and pulling me up into the higher plane. Like I feel like he's waiting for me to rise all the way into my own strength. And I feel like it's happening. I feel like it's happening. Things that would have moved me 2 weeks ago already, I feel numb to. Yeah, the whole thing that was over this last weekend and the weekend before, it's like I'm already at such a higher plane. It's amazing how quickly when you let go, when you allow yourself just to get into the flow and you're like, okay, I can't, I'm out of, it's out of control anyway. And that was something my twin told me on Friday when he saw me. And he's so funny like that. Like he says the off the wall, most weird things ever. And he just says them off the top of like little things like that to where I know that he knows, but we're not getting into the conversation. So what he said to me was, I'm doing some sage. This is actually a sage stick that my twin made, and he gave it to me because I complimented him on how big it was, so he gave it to me. So I've been working on it. It was much longer. It was probably like this long. So I'm just doing a little bit of sage. Oh, it smells so good. So he says to me, right? I'm trying to think of how you say it in English. So just a second. I'm trying to think how I would put it in English to make it have the same exact meaning. He said, for the people that speak Hebrew. He said, if you try to, I felt like I had something crawling on me. so I use the camera as a mirror. So he says to me, if you try to go against, the lessons, like if I'm trying to go against the lessons that it'll hurt more. Like pushing against hurt is more painful than just flowing with it. And I got it. He said, like if you try to go against me. That was because when I went to the Rob, well, I think it was because of a lot of things, and I'm not going to get into it here. It feels very personal because it feels like I've been talking about these timelines that are going on. There's different timelines on different levels. There's all these different timelines going on and different storylines. So on a different storyline, that makes perfect sense. Like, because I'm going through and he even says it, that I'm going through like a chanicha, which is like it's like I'm going through a course with him, like going through a course, like I'm learning from him, like a lesson. I'm getting lessons. It's true. I'm getting lessons. I'm getting bent all out of shape. I feel like his lessons are it's like when you take gum and you go, if it was a cartoon. Remember the cartoon? There's a cartoon. It's The Incredibles. And I think it's the mom that she bends all out of shape all over the place. That's how I feel, like on this emotional. And, even with the family, because that's where we started on this video, you get to a point on this journey where the truth is so true. And there is absolutely no denying it. When you get to that point, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. So after my mother, we had 2 conversations, and the first one, she was telling me all about, she was telling me how it's detrimental and that I need to get off of this and I need to quit talking about this twin flame journey thing. It's not real. And I told her, did you even go in and read about it? She said, yeah, I read about it. It's not real. It's all a delusion. You're following him around like a puppy dog, and he doesn't care for you, and it'll never be, and it's detrimental to you, and you're getting stuck, and you'll never find somebody as long as you're stuck on him, and he's using you. And I told her that's her perception of it. It's not true, because we're really good friends, and we talk about it, and I've also told him that for me, even the friendship is the most valuable part. I feel like he's my best friend. He understands me better than anybody else that understands me. And if I could get over the attraction, then I have overcome myself. If I get over, not even over the attraction, but be able to bring the attraction into a place, I can't fight myself what to do. If it is an attraction that is beyond this world, the attraction is there, what to do. And so I'm not going to fight myself. That's something that I also learned. When I go against myself, it's not worth it. It's just me going against myself, and then I never get into the evening even. So I need to realize what it is. Oh, this is good. This is good. I need to realize what it is, fully embrace it, and then be able to sit with that in me, like the attraction in me, and it doesn't have to interfere with our friendship. And where I can also find attraction to others. They just don't. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna say that to myself because I don't want to reinforce it. But I know that when I'm attracted to somebody, I'll know it. And he'll know it too. So, and then I got a text from my sister, and she also wrote to me, and it was a little bit difficult because we didn't even talk about it very much before. I haven't really talked to her about it. And I told my mother, it feels like you're also talking about this with other people and kind of trying to turn, instead of understanding. I asked her if she read about it. She said she did go in and read about it, but it's all just made up anyway. It's all just made up because she can't see it, right? And so I told her, could you fathom that maybe there's something that I'm going through that you don't understand, that maybe I'm going through something that you've never gone to, and can you trust that I know? But she doesn't. And that's what I told her. I told her that what you're wanting from me is what you want. You want to control my being. You want for me what you think is right for me to get over the twin flame journey because she's not really listening. I told her, you didn't ask me how I feel, I have all these emotions. I'm just supposed to those emotions aren't real, and just throw them away and say, okay, that's not real. Now let's go over here. Otherwise, it wouldn't be, the emotions wouldn't exist if they weren't real. And what she is asking me, she wasn't even asking me, how do you feel? Why do you feel this way? And I told her he's a really, really good person. I said, the only thing that you're worried about is that I'm stuck on him and I'm in love with him and he doesn't return it. That's where you're getting all stuck up and you're mad about it. And you don't like him because of that. And she said, well, that's part of it, but I also don't like him because of him. And that's bullcrap. She doesn't like him because I'm in love with him and he doesn't return it back to me. And then she doesn't like what it's doing to me. So she is putting it off on him. And we kind of had this conversation, and then I just said, you know what? I don't have to talk to you about it. You don't get it. They don't get it. And they're like, it's almost like they are, first of all, they don't get that I'm way stronger than I've ever been. Way stronger than I've ever been. Because they see me crying. Well, it doesn't seem like that to me. You just look like you're a shell of who you used to be. You used to be so strong and vibrant and outgoing and go and do your things. And now it seems like all you do is cry and you can't do anything. And you're obsessive around him. And which I can totally see where she's coming from. I see it. I see what she sees. But she doesn't see the strength, the things that I'm overcoming. I told her, and I've even listed off things that are stronger about me. But when somebody is locked into something, and she's never been on the twin flame journey, she cannot understand. She cannot understand also my strength because she's been married, my mother's been married for 50 years almost. I think 50 years almost. In a very tight marriage where you're dependent on the other person. They have a total codependency. Total. They're like move as one. My parents move as one. They're like one being in two bodies. This is some tea that I made that my twin actually turned me on to for concentration, and it works. I don't remember the name of the tree. Maybe I'll put it in the comments. But you know the trees that have those really pretty puffy flowers? I think they're Chinese or Japanese. I think they're Chinese. And they have all sorts of medicinal properties to them. And they're also good for, if you read online, for cancer, for concentration, for anxiety, for everything that has to do with the like your digestive system, a lot of other things. It's the bark. So I've been peeling the bark off, and the flowers. I'm supposed to take the stem off of the flower. The stem. And I make tea with it, and you can actually feel the medicine of it. Yesterday and today, I'm drinking tea, and I feel like it's bringing my focus. I've also started taking my vitamins. I always have a issue with my iron levels ever since I was really young, my iron levels. And a few months ago, I went and did some iron tests. Maybe it was in the winter. And my iron was down to 4. So I started taking iron, and then I went to donate blood. And after a few months, and they do like a hemoglobin, I don't remember what it's called, but they do like an iron test, and it was up to 11. And this was a couple months ago, but they wouldn't take my blood. They said it was still too low. It has to be above 12, I guess. And so they wouldn't take my blood, but that also gives me an indication. And during the winter, I was eating a lot of greens that grow around here. I just go and pick them, and then I cook them. But now in the summer, everything is dried up. So I get vegetables and things, but now I just started a vitamin regimen. I figure I've been going through this like that. And so I started taking, a few days ago, I started taking a multivitamin, a B12, and iron. And I think that it helps. It might be a placebo, but I really do feel like it helps. I'm also taking this tea. I've also been rattled around on this twin flame journey in this last month. And I also went to that ceremony on the Jordan River with the shaman. And I think that also, things from that ceremony keep coming back up to me. Have you ever noticed Have you ever noticed, and this I would like if somebody, noticed, like, just comment below. Have you ever noticed that when you're in your highest being and you're in this like pleasant place and you're high flying, that all of a sudden all these people start coming into your life, people that you haven't thought about, or people, ex-boyfriends start writing you out of nowhere. It's like we are connected to this magnetic field. And whenever we're in our really good place, it's like we're vibing it out into the electric field. And it's like the people that know our vibration, that can feel us because they've already been connected to it, somehow connect back up to it and contact. So that was like, it's amazing to me in this last, it's like when I'm in my high places, all of a sudden my ex-boyfriends start writing me and coming back in, or people are drawn to me, or old friends contact me online, or, it seems like when I'm in my good place, the good things happen. We know this. But I'd like to hear if this resonates with anybody, and if they, feel like the same thing, like all of a sudden when you're in your high place, people out of the blue from your past contact you and come back into your life just like randomly. It's so random, it's amazing. Like, you would have never thought. Or like, I think of somebody and an hour later they call. Or I think of somebody, the next day they call or text. And that is either, that I think of as like two ways. It's either they were thinking about me and that's why they popped up in my head, because that's how the telepathy works, right? Either they were thinking of me or talking about me, and they pop up in my head. And I think that is what happens when you're doing something and somebody suddenly goes bling in your head out of the blue, when nothing instigated it from within your life. Somebody just pops into your head. I think that's what it's about. And I think that either me thinking about somebody will make them call me, or if they're thinking about me, it'll make me think about them, and then they'll call me. So it's just like when I think about somebody, sometimes I'll be thinking about somebody from my past, and a couple days later I'll call them, see how they're doing, because they came up. And I always feel like when somebody comes up into my consciousness, and and I think about them and I want to call them, I always wonder why, because there's a reason for everything. And when you start realizing that there's a reason for everything, you start seeing the reasons behind things. Like, you do something, you don't know why you're doing it, and then or you feel like going somewhere and you go there, and then you're like, oh, okay, I understand the divine plan of bringing me into this place. And so to bring it back around full circle, we started with that text that a newfound friend, and on this spiritual journey on this twin flame journey, and she said she's been on it for years. I want union. I can't imagine being on this for years, or giving up and just allowing it to just, like, I don't know. One thing that my twin also told me, and that also like hints to me, he knows exactly. He's so funny. One thing that he told me is enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. He told me that. He's like, just enjoy the process. When I was like hitting a wall or something, or I was like, he said, just let go and enjoy the process. It's a divine process. And that's something that really gave me peace on a lot of different levels. Because one, I trust him. He has a divine connection. And his connection is so pure that the divine just comes out of him. He does also channeling on his YouTube channel. He does channeling. And also, but he doesn't, not video-wise, he writes. His channeling is written. And on his Facebook page, he does, almost every week, he puts up a channeled message from a message from Enoch, like the angel Enoch comes through him, and his messages are spot on. See, I'm telling you about it now, and I feel I feel like goosebumps. The whole head is like with goosebumps, because he's so spot on. Like it's like it's so spot on that it's unbelievable, and it's also inspiring. It's also inspiring and brings strength. It's a powerful message. Talking about powerful, encouraging and powerful messages he brings. And they're grounded in so much truth. It's like he tells you what you're going through in your current life, like telling you the story of your own life, and then the continuation of it, like the premonition of it, like where you're headed to. And it's kind of like the placebo too. It's you believe the message so much because it's so accurate that you have to believe the premonition of it as well. It's like being a messenger. I feel like I'm a messenger. I really do. I feel like I'm a messenger. I see it all the time when I meet people. All the time there are messages that download for the person that I'm meeting. And when I was like most of my life, because I was so far into my own psyche, like embarrassed to talk, or who am I to go and tell somebody something? Like most of the time I would just keep it to myself. But anymore, what I realize is that these messages in the last few years, since I've been going through my spiritual awakening and rising on this journey, that when I tell people the messages that come to them, it's detrimental to them. It's a message that comes through me for them. It comes through me. I get the advantage of getting the message myself, because so many times the message speaks volume to me, and so many times it's things that I'm going through as well. And so by channeling these messages, I get the wisdom of the messages, and so I feel blessed. But anymore, when I have the messages, I give them, even if it's going up to somebody and pulling them for a second and just giving them the message, because I see that these messages are divine, and this person I have goosebumps my whole body right now. I'm talking about, I have goosebumps my whole body. They're important, and when I am giving the messages to people, I'm fulfilling my purpose. And when the years and years and years, when you have something divinely flowing through you and you don't allow it to flow, you suffer. And I've realized this. I've realized that giving these messages is not only for the person that I'm giving them to, it's also for me, because it allows it to flow through me. It's just like these videos. I keep on saying, for years and years and years, I wasn't even on the camera. It's like amazing to me that I'm standing in front of the video and just talking, and like I would talk to anybody, just normal, talking my own self out. It's like the camera became my friend. The community, the people that write to me and that like it, and that even just to view. You don't even have to like it, but by liking it and by writing messages, you see, even this video itself came to be because of a message that I got from somebody that watches my YouTube and resonates with it. And so even what I came to speak about was something that was opened up from there. So it's kind of like it feeds itself. So when you like, subscribe, comment to my videos, then you are sending your energy to me. And then it's like a combined energy. It's like the energy is becomes circular. So even if you don't write in the comments and you just like the video, or even just watch, or just subscribe, then our energy is connected and the channeling comes through more pure, because you are putting into the universe you're making a choice, a specific choice, and then the universe knows to bring the messages that you need through me. That's how I see it. It's interesting. It's opening up for me more and more and more and more, all of this channeling thing, since I've been able to even say it out loud. All of a sudden it's like a river open, because it's so true that it's like the obvious. It's like the obvious that I haven't been looking at for my whole life. It's like that. It's like there's been an elephant in the room that I haven't been looking at. And not only have I not been paying attention to it, I've been suffering because I haven't been paying attention to it. Because, if there's an elephant in the room, it has presence. It wants to be seen. It needs to get its expression. It's getting some kind of expression, but it's getting expression that's all sloppy and not taking hold of the elephant and saying, oh, you're such a beautiful elephant. Look at you. You're such a beautiful expression of God. It's like ignoring your gift makes you suffer. And we are all humans going around with these wonderful gifts. And we're so busy with the matrix and trying to make a living, doing what's right, and what our parents taught us, and what the school tells us, and we're so busy that we don't even see our gifts. How can we? We're so on a buzz all the time. We were made to live like the chimpanzees in heaven. They get up in the morning and they're in heaven. They're with the elements, they're living with God, they're living with the trees, and the forests provide for them. Had we stayed living in the forest provide for us. And had we, I say had we, but there is heaven on earth, and there is a way, and heaven on earth is mostly in your perception. And through your perception, you connect to everything around you. So it all starts in your perception. But really, I'm so happy and I feel so blessed and to have connection with people that do understand what I'm going through. Oh, my sister, when she wrote, she said that she misses me and the person that I used to be, and that I'm being mind controlled by my twin. And I'm thinking to myself, I was trying to think how I could answer her, what I could say. And all I wrote to her was, thank you. I'm not going to try to talk her into it. I mean, if she sat down and wrote that to me, I don't think that her and I have ever sat down and I've really talked to her about the twin flame, what's going on with me and all of that. So she's seeing things very topical. And she's seeing things from the perspective of where she is. And this twin flame journey, it's so intricate, and there's so many different moving parts to it, and there's so much that doesn't meet the eye. On the 3D, if you're looking on the 3D, okay, so there's one storyline going on, and okay, I can see how they see what they see, right, from the 3D storyline, and I could see how that would be what I would have seen a few years ago. Everybody in my family knows that I'm what's the word? It's like extravaganza, but it's not really extravaganza. Okay, I'm not gonna say a word that I unless I find the perfect word for it. I don't want it to be wrong. I want to be accurate. But then I'm like open and out there, and outgoing, and there's always things going on. And I have like a lively life. And so it probably doesn't surprise them now that I have this twin flame journey going on, because it's always been, I always have something interesting or fascinating or that's something I've noticed. When sometimes I'll say, oh, my life started to get boring. And as soon as I start saying my life is boring, and I've just been saying it lately, something goes juk, 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 and takes my whole life on some kind of whirlwind. So we'll see where I'm headed. So just to connect it all back up, because this is also a long video, just to connect it all back up. When you come to a place on this journey that you understand that it is absolutely 100% undoubtedly real, it's real. When you come to that and you quit fighting against, and you quit trying to ignore it or quit trying to get it out of your head, and you relax and kind of like surrender into it, it becomes so much easier. It's like I'm on this journey. It almost feels like the journey is taking me. And the more that I try to fight against, or the more that I try to control it, the more I'm postponing whatever needs to come. Because if I just get my own self out of the way and I do what I need to do, just take one step at a time, stay in the now as much as I can. That's also another thing I feel like the timelines all need to collapse into one. And in order for them to collapse into one, that means I have to bring my power back to me, and I have to bring all the timelines into the now. And only what is now is relevant. You know, you bring everything into one timeline with the 3D, with the 5D, I don't know, 5D, all these other levels that are going on. Have to bring them all into the one place. It's just like this current existence, the 3D mode, it has space for everything. Everything gets okay, something good is coming through. Everything gets its expression only in the 3D mode. So everything that is up in the higher realms.
No power. Please charge.
So everything that is up in the higher realms and is still like an idea, like working out, and it has no expression. It has no expression. The only place that anything gets expression is in this plane. So this is the plane where everything can combine and get expression in. So the idea is to bring all of these different timelines that are happening and bring them all collapse into one, which is in the now, which is where we have our power. So it's as much as possible to bring myself into the now. And if I bring myself into the now, I will pull with me all these other timelines as well. And in order to get into the now, oh, this is good. There are tricks to getting, there's a lot of different ways to get into it, to get to the same outcome. A lot of different stimulants that can bring you into the same outcome. Appreciation is one of the most powerful tools to bring you into the now. When you are in a constant state of appreciation, you're in a constant state of paying attention. You're in a state of looking at your surroundings. So then you're out of your mind. You're in the moment. You're in the consciousness of the now. And when you're in appreciation, you're also noticing. You're also paying attention. So you're noticing detail. You're paying attention to detail, and you're also finding truths. Because if you're just doing everything sloppy like this while you're in your head, you're not thinking really. When you're appreciating something, you're thinking of how it was made and where it came from and what had to happen to bring it into the world. And so, for instance, I have my frankincense, right? It makes me want to burn some frankincense. I don't see any tab. I'll do it afterwards. I have this incense. My son brought me this. This is good. This I can burn now. So when you're in appreciation, See, that's appreciation. It smells so good. And then you think about how this was made, and the people that had to go through the trouble to bring this in, and the graphic designer that sat down and made a perfect design of this. It's sandal incense. Mysore sandal incense sticks. I think my son brought it to me from Dubai. He got it in Dubai. Oh, it's so good. have this little shelf here behind me in the kitchen. And so when you are in appreciation, it brings you into the now, and it takes your mind out of your mind. It takes the monkey mind out. You're in appreciation. You're appreciating what is. You're noticing even what is. Okay. So I'm going to stop this here. And I could just keep going and going and going. So I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to go get some work done. I have some graphic work to do. And I was, it seems like when the world opens up, it just brings you, I had also so many different offers of different things to do. I was telling you about the cleaning job that I had, and now I'm painting plates for my parents, and I have more plates to paint, which is really easy. They sell like these plates at the Garden Tomb in Jerusalem and down here at the tourist shops for tourists. They're all sorts of, so they have a replica of the Garden Tomb, and it has these flowers. And so I paint the flowers, and for each plate I get a certain amount, and it's a really easy work. I just walk across the street and go to my parents' house and do it. The kids also do it, but they have a lot of work. So it's another income. It's another income. So that's good. See, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So thank you for watching, and hit subscribe. Hit subscribe.